Yeah. Hello everyone. So welcome to the next wonderful session of Sitecore user group Kuala Lumpur. So welcome you all. Yeah. So here we have the expert from LNG Technologies, Koushik Mukherjee. He's a Sitecore lead. Okay, he's working in LNG, and Chandan Kumar is a senior software developer. He's also working from LNG consultancy. And thank you both for presenting this in Kuala Lumpur, SUG Kuala Lumpur. And the topic is a Solrcloud with ZooKeeper for Sitecore XP. So here you can go and present your session, Koushik and Chandan. Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks, Siraj. Thanks for giving us the opportunity in SUG Kuala Lumpur. I believe you can see my screen. So let us start. So today our topic is Solrcloud configuration with ZooKeeper for Sitecore XP. Before we move forward, let me introduce myself. You already, Siraj told that I'm Koushik Mukherjee, Sitecore lead in LNG consultancy. I'm Sitecore MVP 2025. I have around 18 years of experience in IT industry and around 10 years in Sitecore technologies. I am a Sitecore XP and XM Cloud certified developer. So my current role is as a Sitecore architect, and you can contact me in my email ID or LinkedIn. Chandan, please introduce yourself.
Thanks, Koushik. So myself, I am a senior software developer in LNG consultancy, having more than 15 years of experience and more than 12 years in Sitecore. So I worked from Sitecore 6 to Sitecore 10, along with Sitecore XM Cloud, and working in LNG as a senior software developer. So thanks, Koushik. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Chandan. Your voice is a bit low. Anyway, please check next time. Chandan. So let us start. Today our agenda is basically we'll give you a brief on Solrcloud. I believe you all work with Solar. So today we'll give you a brief on Solrcloud. Then we'll understand the ZooKeeper and why actually Solrclouds with ZooKeeper. We need ZooKeeper for Solrcloud, and how we can configure, how we can set up the connection string with Sitecore XP, and some key points we need to remember. And yes, we'll show you a demo, and then we have time for the question answer session. So first of all, what is Solrcloud? So Solrcloud is a mode of running Apache Solr. That is basically one indexing engine. It supports distributed, scalable, and faulty tolerant search service. What does it mean? It means that distributed means that you can split your data into shards. So each handles a subset of data. So queries can also run across all the shards. So you can distribute your data. Then it's come replication. So replication means that each shard can have multiple replicas or copies, you can say multiple replicas. That if one node is failed, another replica takes over. So there are multiple replicas. So if one fail, another one will actually take over that. Then faulty tolerance and high availability. Why it is faulty tolerance and high availability? Because as I informed you that if a single node fail, then another one takes that part. So it's actually leaders and followers. So if one leader is down, another one, it will be selected as a leader, another replica. And then central configuration and coordination via ZooKeeper. So if you have a Solrcloud setup with different Solrcloud port, so but the configuration that will be managed Apache, using this Apache ZooKeeper to manage the state, configuration, leader selection, assignments of shards and replicas, and so on. So everything can be managed via ZooKeeper, and it's centralized. Automatically load balance and failover for the queries. I mean, queries can send to any node. Any node you can send the queries, and the system will actually route this appropriately. If one node is down, then it will other one will pick up. So it is actually a load balance type environment, you can say. Next is what are the key difference? What is the main key difference between Solr and Solrcloud? So we all use Solr for most of our projects. So Solr had a master and slave environment. So one is master, handle this indexing, it writes the indexes. Another one is slaves, is replicate for the sort, scaling, failover, etc. to be managed manually. But Solrcloud basically manage all these things automatically. It elect the leaders, it doing the routing. If one node is down, another node is up, it handling the node failure. So it actually automatically done all these things without any manual interventions. So that is the main difference between a Solr and a Solrcloud environment. Now, what is ZooKeeper? Why we need ZooKeeper? So ZooKeeper is also a Apache Apache tool. So Apache ZooKeeper is a distributed coordination and configuration management service. It's mainly a service which coordinates and coordinates between the Solr nodes, and you can do the configuration. It helps to manage a large distributed system. So any large distributed system we can manage via ZooKeeper. So Solrcloud is considered as a large distributed system. So there are some key functions for this ZooKeeper. One is, we already discussed, the centralized configuration management. So it keeps the configuration, consistent configuration across all Solr nodes. Then it's leader election. So automatically decide which Solr node will act as a leader for a SAR. So it automatically decide that. Clustered state management. So it keeps metadata about which nodes are alive. So it keeps it automatically. I mean, you don't need to manage it manually. So it keeps it automatically. The metadata information, which nodes are alive, which shards and replicas exits, and what are the status. So it keeps all the state management. Then synchronization. It ensures that all nodes agreed on the current cluster state even during the failures. And watch mechanism. Nodes can watch data in ZooKeeper and get notified instantly when a change occurs. When a change occurs means, suppose one leader is down, another one is up. So it actually get the notification that the leader changed. So watch mechanism is there. So then why Solrcloud with ZooKeeper? So first of all is cluster state tracking. So ZooKeepers keep the metadata about collection, shards, replicas, and leaders. Leader election automatically set the new shard leader if the current one is failed. Configuration storage stores schemas and configuration centrally. So you do not need to copy the configs manually for the each node. So it will manage centrally. Node discover keeps a live registry of which Solr nodes are currently active. And failure and recovery, if a node is down, if it's failure, then it's trigger that particular node and try to recover that. And also it elect the another one as a leader. Now in our setup, we will show you the demo about our setup. Our setup, we use this architecture that we actually have 3 clusters for the ZooKeeper, which manages the configuration and state. We have 2 Solr nodes instances. One is running on 8983, another one is 8984 from a distributed index. And ZooKeeper ensure node synchronization and fault tolerance. So this one, we will actually show you the demo, this architecture. So how you can start, if you have any question, we'll come back. Please, you can also write down your question in the chat. We'll come to your question. Install Java and NSSM. So to run the Solr, Apache Solr and ZooKeeper, you need to install the Java first. So you can also verify your Java version, that which version you have installed. and we need NSSM, that is service manager. So it will actually help you. It will actually help you to run the Windows services. So NSSM. So you can download the nssm.cc and extract it in your directory, and then you can create the Windows services from there. Next, set up ZooKeeper cluster and configure nodes. So next thing you need to do once this Java is installed and NSSM is there, then you can start creating the ZooKeeper cluster. So here we have 3 clusters. So what you need to do is that you need to create. We actually created 3 different folder in D drive: ZooKeeper 1, 2, and 3. And what we are doing is that we are actually copy ZooKeeper binary for each folder and configure node specific settings. So we are actually copying all the configuration and everything into all 3 folders. Next, you need to edit the zoo.config file. There is a config file will show you that each node will have a zoo.config file. So there you need to provide the unique ports. So these 3, ZooKeeper 1, 2, and 3 will run in 3 different ports. Say it is running in 888, 3889, 3890. In 3 different ports it will run. So you need to provide this unique port number for each ZooKeeper instances 1, 2, and 3. And you need to also assign a specific ID. That should be a unique ID for each directories. So there is a my ID file. We'll show you that my ID file. There we actually provide the ID as 1, 2, and 3. So you need to assign those ID, and those should be unique. And it will actually follow the we need to ensure that the port should be a leaders and the followers port. So these 388, these are actually leader port, and 288 will be a follower port. So here you can see this one is the follower port, 288, 2889, 2890, and with the 3888, 3889, 3890, these are the follower ports. So we will show you the configuration file, how we can configure this. Next, what you need to do is that we need to open the firewall port. So if you are doing the installation in your local system or maybe into a server, so you need to open the port. In our case, we are using these 3 ports: 2181, 2182, and 2183. So we are allowing this port in the Windows firewall. And you can test this. If you open a PowerShell in administrative mode and test net connection localhost port 2181, it will show you the port is open or not. Once the port is open, you can actually create Windows services like we did using the NSSM. So you can see there are 3 Windows services for these 3 folders. 1, 2, and 3, you have 3 Windows services. One will run in 2181, another one 2182, 2183. Next is that when the ZooKeeper is done, next is that you need to set up the Solrcloud with ZooKeeper. So we have created 2 Solr instances. One will run in 8983, another one is 8984 port. As we are using the local host, so it will run as localhost colon 8983, localhost colon 8984. So you should have proper SSL certification. Whatever is your domain name, you should have that SSL certification because it will run in HTTPS. Then you need to add this following configuration in the solr.in.cmd. So you know that there is a configuration file in Solr. Normally, if you are doing any Solr setup, you need to put those port and everything, the domain information in this configuration file. So here you need to provide the ZooKeeper host name. So ZooKeeper will run in these 3 hosts. Sorry, these 3 ports. So ZooKeeper host should be this. In our case, it is 2181, 2182, and 2183. Then you need, once you did the change, save it, restart the Solr service and apply the changes. Then you need to run this command from any Solr node, this command. So we Chandan actually created a blog. I wrote a blog also on this. You can share the link of the blog, so you can see all this configuration where you need to put. We'll show you the demo there also, you can see that. And configure secure HTTPS communication in the cluster. So everything should run in HTTPS. So once that is done, now if you run the Solr and from the Solr service, and you can access the Solr admin, maybe 8983 or 89844 port, you can see this there, that this local host is actually running in two different nodes, 8983 Solr, 8984 Solr. Okay, because we have two Solr instances. So check the clustered nodes and the status. It will show you the status and everything in the admin UI. It will show you that what are the status you have, what all you can see from the into the demo. So this is your final outcome, that the configuration is done. Solr admin, you can see the UI, and there you can see all the two different Solr environments. Solrcloud environment is running using ZooKeeper. Once that is done, you need to change your connection string to communicate between your Sitecore XP or XM with the Solrcloud environment. So here we are actually using the localhost environment. So it is localhost 8984 port we are giving here. But if you have a load balance Solr environment, then you need to only give the domain name. So if you have to Solr load balanced environment with the same domain, so you can just put the domain name over here. And this should be true. Solrcloud equals to true. This is a must property you need to provide, or if you are using Solrcloud. So these are all configuration you need to do to run the Solrcloud using ZooKeeper. So some of the key points that you must remember while doing the setup. So technically you need at least 3 ZooKeeper nodes. So and for the Solrcloud setup, ensure the faulty tolerance. So that means that you must need at least 3 or 5 or 7, so odd number of nodes, because it will actually choose the leaders. So maximum ZooKeeper will choose the leader one, that the Solr node that will be the leader. So it should be odd one, 3, 5, 7. Next, this is the command to check that from the PowerShell to check that the which port it is listening and which port is on in your system. So this is a must thing you need to check. As we inform you that this command you need to run while after doing the Solr setup. This command is set the Solrcloud clustered wide URL schema to HTTPS in ZooKeeper. So ensuring all Solr node use secure HTTPS URL for internal communication and metadata. So what it will do, suppose you have two Solr, one node is down, remaining replica known as the active. So if one node is down, another one it will make as active. Both nodes are down, Solr can't verify it's safe to lead, because we have two Solr nodes, both are down, so it cannot manage that. Both nodes are down and both start. So suppose you restarted, then both start. Then what it will do? The Solr compares the replicas and elect the safest leader. So this it will do the situation. So if one is down, it will make another one as active as leader. If both are down, then it cannot verify which one is safe, because both are down. If both are down and both starts, you restarted the system or restart the Solr services, then it will compare the replicas and elect the safest leader. So now we will show you the demo, that how you can configure, how it will run, what you will show in the Solr admin section. So I want to request Chandan, if you please share your screen.
Thanks, Koushik. Thanks. Let me share my screen. Am I audible?
Yes.
You can
Yes.
see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. Thanks. So as Koushik has explained all the important points regarding the Solrcloud and how the setup should be done and all the theoretical parts. So I will directly go to the demo part and show the important points. So before going to the demo, So the important softwares which you need to install before doing the setup. The first is the JDK, Java JDK that need to be installed, right? And you should have a downloaded ZooKeeper package, and also you should have a standalone Solr setup running as a Windows service. So those things will get converted into a Solrcloud. Okay. So these are the softwares JDK, ZooKeeper. So once you are installed with the JDK, right? So the important point coming to the ZooKeeper point. Yeah. So once you download the ZooKeeper, you will see a photo gets created ZooKeeper. So you can give any name. So there was a question, can we give any name? So yes, it's open. You can give any name. So for the convenience purpose, I have given ZooKeeper 1, ZooKeeper 2, ZooKeeper 3. You can see, right? And all the ZooKeeper is having almost the similar configuration. Okay, so you can just copy and duplicate it and rename. And I will show you all the important files which you need to configure in each of the nodes. Okay. Right. So there is a file inside the data folder that is my ID. So this file you need to create, and this file should not have any extension. So it will edit it, and you can give. I have given the entry 1. So this shows the address of this ZooKeeper 1, right? So you have to create my ID 5, and you have to give the entry of an integer. It's 1 for ZooKeeper node 1, and for other node it will be ZooKeeper 2. I will show you again that, right? So this file. You can see, right? And the name should be my ID. That is inside the data folder. Okay. So once you are done with the my ID file, let me go to the other file. So there is another file zoo.config you have to create, right? Koushik has already explained this one in the PPT, right? So you can see this is the data directory folder of the ZooKeeper, right? ZooKeeper 1, and data, and this is the client port, right? So 2181. This is very important because Solr communicates with ZooKeeper using this port, right? So this is the client port as mentioned. And the second part which is very important here is this one, right? Server 1. This is called is ensemble. So here is the address of each of the ZooKeeper. So you can see server.1, and this is the local host, right? And you can see the port number 2 888. This is for the communication between the ZooKeepers, and the port number 3 888 switch. This is used for the reader election, right? And so this is all the address of each of the ZooKeeper nodes, like identity of the ZooKeeper, right? So you can see server 1 2.3, right? And the similar configuration is done in all the ZooKeeper nodes. So if you go here, let me go to the ZooKeeper node 2. Again, you will see data. See, I have given the integer 2 because it's the node 2, right? So just for the identification of this. And again, if I go to the configuration of here, if you see, this part will remain same across all the, because this is the ensemble. This will let the ZooKeeper to understand which are the other ZooKeeper nodes. So this part will be constant across all the ZooKeeper nodes, and the things which will change here is the client port. Okay. So for this ZooKeeper node, the Solr will communicate with port number 218182, and the first one was 2181. So once this configuration is done, you have to use NSSM and to run these ZooKeeper nodes as a Windows service, right? And so you can see in services, I have the ZooKeeper, right? So there are 3 ZooKeeper nodes that is running: ZooKeeper 1, ZooKeeper 2, and ZooKeeper 3, right? So once you are done with all these 3 ZooKeeper configuration and running as a Windows service, now it's time to make the change in the Solr, right? So you all know how to do the setup of a Solr, right, as a Windows service, right, as a standalone application. So I am having 2 Solr nodes, right, and the changes you have to make in the Solr. Let me go here. I assume people know how to do that Solr setup. I'm just yeah. So yeah, there are 2 nodes, right? I have running 2 Solr nodes as a Windows service. If you go here, if you go inside the bin and inside show this file. You have to go and edit this one. Here you need to mention, you can see you have to set this thing, right? Set ZooKeeper host. So these are the ZooKeeper client ports, right? As you've seen in the ZooKeeper node 2181 and 282. So the server will communicate with the ZooKeeper using this file. So this configuration is very important so that server can communicate with this. And others are the default properties of the server, right? So once you have done and we start the server service, so it will work in the. And the important point which I will show you in the notepad again. So once you are done with the ZooKeeper, just test each of the node, right? Whether it's working or not. If it's doesn't working, it will not make any sense. So check, do the test net connection. You can just using the port 2181. And again, there was one more command you to set the HTTPS, right? I will show you in the admin panel how this impacts. So once you execute this command, the server will communicate with the ZooKeeper using the HTTPS. So I will show you where after executing this command, how the setting gets changed in the admin. So these are the parts of the configuration. And once you have done, just run this as a Windows service. Now coming to the demo part. So you can see this is the content, right? This is the content. Let me go to the. Yeah. So once you are done with all the ZooKeeper running and ZooKeeper nodes running, if you see ZooKeeper, you will see there are 3 ZooKeeper nodes, right? In the admin, 2181, 2182, 2183. And you can see one of the ZooKeeper is a reader and other is the follower, right? And you can see the election port 3, which I said earlier in the by giving the configuration detail. So the 3 3889, 38890, this is the election port, right? So this on this port they select which is the reader of out of the 3 ZooKeeper nodes. And this port 2888 is just for the communication between the ZooKeeper nodes, right? And you can see all the 3 nodes are up and running. Now if you go to the graph, you can see in the cloud there are 2, one is 8983 and one is 8984, both are running, correct? For the demo, so I will not go into the detail of creating the indexes because that is by default given by Sitecore and we have the document there. It's very easy and straightforward. So how to create index, right? I have created the index before just to show the demo. Okay. So right now this is my Sitecore CMS, and in the connection string, if you see, where is that connection string? So coming to the connection string, if you see in the connection string, I am pointing to 8983, right? Since we don't have the load balancer in our local setup, I have to change this one manually. So as Koushik said, if it's a load balancer, you have to give the domain of the load balancer, and that will handle it, right? And this property Solrcloud is going to you have to maintain everywhere. If it's inside the X Connect, there also you need to change in the same manner. So let me first search it. Okay. Port 8983 down. Let me search this now. 893. Oh, sorry. You can see the item being searched, right? 8983. Okay. Now let me go. 8984 is down, right? I will make 8983 down. So the first one is running as on 8983. Okay, I will stop it. Stop. See, you can see 8983 is dead, right? And if you browse the 8983 also, and if you go to the graph here, so this is one of the index which I have created for the demo purpose, and you can see both 8984. There are 2 replica of this node, right? Start, right? Yeah, this one, and it's the this port 8984. You can see here, right? This is the index. master index and the replica which it is. So you can see the replica details, right? So if you select the index, which replica is taking care, this port, it will show you, right? So this is the detail of that. Let me go to the graph back. Coming to the graph. So you can see 894 is reading it, right? You can see this is the, you can see the status from here. At the right side, you can see reader active, recovering down, right? Let me change the port number here. 984. That's it. This change in the connection string, I don't have to do when we have the load balancer, but since we don't have the load balancer in localhost, in our local setup, yeah, let me search this port. You can see still I can search that the second replica is still working, right? 8984, and you can search the data, and you can see in the connection string I'm pointing to 8984. Now let me start the this port. You will see the change in the status. You'll see. Yeah, it came, right? Now you can see both are active, right? 8983 is also active, 8984 is also active. And if you go to the ZooKeeper graph, yeah, see it's recovering, right? You can see the state, it's yellow color, right? And you can see the status. Let's wait for 2 seconds or 3 seconds. I'm sorry, you see the status of this. Now it became active. You see the port 8983. Now the status is active, but the reader is 8984 because that was 8983 was down. So that time ZooKeeper made port 8984 as the reader of this SAR, right? But once we start 8983, then it become active. But this is not the reader right now. 8983. Now let's see the second case, right? This is one of the scenarios. Second case is that let's see my one of the ZooKeeper node. Let's see, 8983 is down. Let me I stop it. Okay. Let me stop this one. 8983 stop. Now stop this 8983. And I am pointing to 8984, right? I am pointing to 8984 and 8983 is down. Let's say by default the 8983 got down. Now if I went to content, and since 8983 is down, I am made changes here. I made changes here, right? And I witness search it. You can see 8984 still, it's since it's up, I have changed the data and the search is working, right? Based on the name of the channel, right? Let me go and change in port number 8983, right? Since the port 8983 is still closed now, so the search will not work as of now. Search it again. So what is happening? Let's see, by default, one of your Solr node gets down, and that time if you index everything or you update the index. So again, when the second port gets updated, recovered, so whether that is working or not, I will show you. So let me search Chandan. So it will not show any data. Why? Because 8983 is down. correct? Now let me make it up. Let's see. Just wait for 2 seconds. Yeah, now it's active, right? Now it's active. Search it. Just a second. See, the search is working. What exactly happened when the port number 8983 was down, right? We have made the changes in the item, right? I made it to Chandan. So the replica which the port number 8983 was having, it was not knowing regarding the index update, right? There was any change in the content, right? So, but when I made it up, right? So ZooKeeper internally, what it did, it updated the replica 2 also, right? So there was 2 replica for each index, right? So when I made it up, ZooKeeper, what it does is it saw, this is not updated. The replica which port number 8983 is not updated. So what it does, it syncs the replica 1 with replica 2, so that other replica gets updated with the same data, right? And we have not make any changes in the ZooKeeper, right? So the ZooKeeper automatically does everything. But in the manual approach, when we used to have the master and slave, you have to go and make changes if something gets down, right? But here the ZooKeeper handles everything and automatically it updates the other replica. So this way the ZooKeeper works with Solr. And you can see both the nodes are up 8984 and you can see the status, right? Here you can see the change in the status. And one more file which I was talking about. So you can see, so as Koushik told you regarding one of the execution, right? So once you execute this step, right? So once you execute this value will get to HTTPS. So this is all about the demo from my side. So you can have your questions now.
Thank you, Chandan. Any question you have?
Thank you, Chandan, and thank you, Koushik. It is a very good demo and it's very insightful. Yeah, so guys, okay, any questions in mind? I think, okay, Kali Murugan raised one question, but it was answered. Yeah. I think, okay, we don't have any questions, but yeah, the people have joined in between and left in between as well. But it was a very good session overall, Chandan and Koushik. Yeah, so thanks for presenting. So it was really good. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Siraj, for giving us the opportunity. Thank you very much.
No issues. Okay, so always it's my pleasure to give the opportunity. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Koushik. Thank you, Chandan.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a nice rest of the day. Bye bye.